guys, I'm Dipali Agarwal and welcome back to my YouTube channel For My Scholar. So in the previous videos we have covered stack, queue, arrays and linked list, means all the linear data structures we have covered in the previous videos. If you want to learn any of them, you will get the link to these in description box below. Now we are starting a very important topic, that is collection framework. It's a very important from the perspective of your placement. So in this video we will see the introduction of collection framework, how it is important from the perspective of your placement and how you can use them in your different problems in order to solve different problems. Okay, so let's get started with the video. So collection framework is a collection of different interfaces and different classes. The purpose of using the collection framework is to minimize the size of the code. It is not necessary that it will reduce the time complexity of the problem. It is not necessary, but it definitely will reduce the size, the line of the code of your program. Okay, so now let's take an example. Let's suppose a problem is given to you and you realize that this problem can be solved using a stack. Okay, so what you will do? First you will implement a stack and then you will start writing the concept for the problem. So now if you solve this problem using collection framework, you need not to write the program from the scratch. You need not to create the stack from the scratch. You will have to use just 2-line code to implement the stack, and then you can start writing the code for the given problem. So that is the beauty of collection framework. So now if you use the concept of collection framework, you need not to write the code to implement the stack. It provides you already written libraries, or you can say classes with the help of which you can implement a data structures directly with the help of only single or 2-line code. Okay, you need not to implement the stack or queue using arrays and using linked list. No, it is not necessary. If you are using collection framework in your program, you need not to create the data structures from the scratch. Okay, you are having different libraries, different classes with the help of which you can create the data structures directly, and then you can start writing the concept for the given problem. Okay, so this is the beauty of collection framework. So when we will start write coding for this, you will say, ma'am, why we studied all these lambe code, why we implemented stack and queue using arrays and linked list when we were having all these collection framework. So guys, let me tell you, whenever you go for the placement, sometimes interviewer give you option that you can use collection framework, but if not, okay, if they do not give you the option to use the collection framework, then you will have to implement that from the scratch. No, that's why I taught all the things from scratch. So you should know all the things. First write the code for the data structure from the scratch, and then start writing the code for the problem. Okay, and you should also know how you can use collection framework in order to solve a problem. You should know both of them. That's why I am teaching you all of them. So now let's start the code for this. I know ये वीडियो पूरा देखना, आप लोगों को मज़ा आने वाला है ये वीडियो देख के. आप कहने वाले हो कि मैम क्यों हमें इतना कुछ पढ़ाया, जब कलेक्शन फ्रेमवर्क था, जब 1 लाइन में कोड पॉसिबल है तो क्यों हमने इतना सब कुछ कोड लिखा. सो आई ऑलरेडी हैव मेंशन ड्यूरिंग योर इंटरव्यूअर कैन मेंशन दैट यू कैन नॉट यूज कलेक्शन फ्रेमवर्क. देन इट मीन्स दैट you should know the implementation of a data structures from scratch also. That's why I taught all of this to you. Okay, so now let's start with the coding. So this is the handwritten notes of collection framework. I know my writing is not that much good, but still it will work. Okay, try to understand it. So collection framework includes 3 things: collection interface, map interface and the iterator. Now collection interface includes 3 another interfaces, that is list, set and queue. And these interfaces itself include different classes, like list include array list, linked list, stack, vector. Set includes enum set, hash set, linked hash set, tree set. And queue interface includes array dequeue, linked list and priority queue. In the same way, map interface includes hash map, tree map, enum map, linked hash map, weak hash map, and the iterator includes list iterator. Okay, so these are the you can say the basic structure of a collection framework. Collection framework includes all these things. Okay, you can say you can consider it as a library also, because it is providing you the already written code or the libraries for creating the different data structures like array, linked list, stack, queue, array dequeue, hash set, a tree map, graph, many more. So we will be using the collection framework in order to use the inbuilt data structures available in Java. As you can see, there are lots of classes available in each interface, but we will be studying only important classes. Okay, as we will study array list, linked list, stack, and here we will study tree set, linked hash set, and linked list and the priority queue. In the same way, in the map we will study hash map, tree map, linked hash map, and in iterator we will study list iterator. Okay, so now let's come to the first interface, that is list. Let's talk about list. I just have created a project that is collection framework, and in this I have created a class file that is array_list. So first let's create the object for array list. So what exactly I have done here, I have created an object for array list class. Okay, and this is generic. What is generic? Generic represents what type of data you are going to use, what type of data this array list is going to contain. So here we want that the array list must contain the integer type of data. That's why I have declared it as integer. If you want the array list to be stored string type of data, maybe float type of data, double type of data, then you have to just write float, double, or anything, or any type of data that you want them to store. Okay, now let's use the functions. So array list, we will study these functions in case of array list. So let's talk about them one by one. So C is the reference variable. So first we will add the data into this array list. This is exactly same as the array works. When you create the object for array list here, it will store the data in the memory same as the array was containing the data in the memory. Okay, it is just providing you the inbuilt library so that you need not to write the code for creating, deleting, or adding or inserting or displaying the data again and again. That's all the purpose of using collection framework. Okay, so now add the data in this array list. We will just print the C as it is, Control F11. You can see the data has been displayed here, 10, 50, 100 and 60. But what is the difference between the displaying of data in case of array and in case of array list? Array list is displaying the data in the form of a list. Okay, that's all. That is the only difference between arrays and array list. Otherwise all the things will be same. Now let's suppose you want to remove some data from a particular index. Then how can you do that? So C dot remove function will be used, and you will mention the index, from which index or the data from which index you want to delete. Let's suppose we want to delete the data from second index. So second index is containing 100, so the output should be 10, 50 and 60 because 100 has been deleted. 10, 50 and 60. And next देखते हैं, next one is get function. Get function is used to display the data from a particular index. As we use a of 2, a of 3, if we wanted to fetch the data from the second index, then what we used to write, a of 2, a of 3. In the same way we will write C dot get index. Let's suppose you want the data, you want to fetch the data from the index number 1, 2 let's suppose, means 100 should be printed. To Control F11, so 100 is here. Okay, next one is clear. If you want to delete the data, delete all the data from the array list, so what you will do, you will just write C dot clear, and now if you print C, it will show blank list. Okay, this is showing blank list. And the last one is set a function. If you want to set the data of a particular index, so let's suppose what I want C dot, let's make it comment, C dot set to 1,90. Okay, what I want that the data of first index should be 90 while it is 50 in case of this array list. Okay, let's see what it will print. Control F11. So 10, 90, 100 and 60. What it has done, it has
overwrite the data of the array list. As you can see here, the data was 10, 50, 100, and 60. Right now what we have done, we have set the data of index 1 as 90. So what it will do, it will just overwrite this data to 90, and now if we print this, it will print 10, 90, 100 and 60, this. Okay, and the last function is contains. If you want to check that a particular value exists in the array list or not, then we can use contains function. In case of array, what we did, we wrote a pura program like for loop, while loop, so that to check the data. But here you can do this by just writing a single line code. Okay, c dot contains, it will return the true or false. Okay, let's suppose you want to check for 30. Okay, now let's print the value of f. Control F11, it is showing false. Now let's check for 100. Control F11, true. Okay, so in this way array list works. So now let's suppose you want to print the data of this array list in the form of arrays only. Means you do not want that data to be represented in the form of a list. So what we will do, we will just write a simple for loop for int I is equals to 0, I less than, we want to print the values of array list C. So we will write C dot get I. Okay, what we are doing, we are just getting the data of a particular index. Okay, in this case, so let's execute it. Control F11, 10, 90, 100 and 60. Now it has represented the data in the form of arrays only. So now if I ask which one is better, which now you are going to use in programming, the collection framework or that traditional technique, that is array and linked list, what you are going to use, just let me know in comment section. Okay, but I know your answer. This collection framework is so easy. You can see here, if you want to add the data or remove the data, that is so easy. You need not to write the for loop and all. But if we talk about the background of this code, the things are happening in the same way as we studied in case of arrays. So you should at least know, you should at least have the idea of background, what this code actually is working in the background. Okay, so that's why you need to learn that arrays and linked list concept also. So now let's come to stack. So now let's talk about a stack. As we already have studied stack, we used push function, pop function in order to insert the data, delete the data from the stack, and stack works on LIFO concept that we already have studied. If you want to learn all of this, you will get the link to these in description box below. So now let's talk about how collection framework is going to implement stack. Okay, so we are having three functions, inbuilt functions here: push, pop and peek. Push function will be used to insert the data, post the data in the stack. Pop function will be used to pop the data, or you can say delete the data from the stack, and peek function will be used to access the top element of the stack. So let's implement it. So first let's create the object for stack class. We will create a generic here, integer, because this stack is going to contain integer type of data. C is equals to new stack. We are writing these notations here also and are leaving it blank. If you want to write the integer here also, you can write it, there is no problem. And if you leave it blank, that also works. Okay, so now let's start pushing the data in the stack. So we'll write c dot push 100. We will just write system dot out dot print c. So let's execute it. Control F11. 100, 200, 300 and 400. We talk about the top element, or you can say peak element of this stack, that is 400, because the 100 was inserted first in the stack, 100 and then 200 and then 300, 400. So 400 is at the top. So if we want to print the value of the top element, then we will use peek function. Let's execute it. Control F11. It should return 400, and it is returning 400. Now if we want to pop the data from this stack, so what we will write? We will write c dot pop. So what it will do? It will delete the data from the stack. Okay, the top element will be deleted, and the top element is 400. So the remaining stack is 100, 200 and 300. So now if we print the value of C, it should return 100, 200 and 300. Okay, so these are the main important, although many of the functions are available here, but important functions are push, pop and peek function. Now one more function is there, that is search function, C dot search. So this function returns the position of the element, that the position of a particular element that you want to know. So let's suppose we want to know the position of 200 in this stack. So let's see what it will print. First, let's assign this value in a variable, that value of E, control F11. So it has returned 2 because it will start checking the value, or you can say the position of a value from the base. Okay, so that's why it has returned 200, means the position of 100 is 1, 200 is 2, 300 is 3 and 400 is 4. Now let's suppose if you want the data to be inserted from the user, in that case what we have to do, we will just do the same thing that we are doing from the starting only. So we will create the class for scanner class because we want to take the input from the user, and we will create a for loop here. Let's suppose we want to insert 5 items, so I have created this for loop for the 5 items, and here we are asking for the number from the user, and then we have use the next int function in order to take the input of integer type from the user, and we have assigned it in value. And now what we are doing, we are just pushing the value in the stack, because C is the reference variable for this stack, and we are pushing this value in this stack. Okay, and now here we have printed this value. This is same as we are already doing from the starting only. Control F11 until the number 10, 20, 30, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you can see stack now is having 10, 20, 4, 5 and 6. One more function is there, is empty, if you want to check that there exists some data or not, because as we studied in previous video also, when we want to pop the data, first we check for underflow condition. So it is having an inbuilt function for this, is empty. So we can check if is empty, not we will write not here because we are popping the data. So if this condition is true, means the stack is not empty, in that case only we will pop the data, or you can say delete the data from the stack. So as I mentioned in case of array list also, this is not statically storing the data in the array as we did array in case of traditional type of algorithm that we studied in the previous videos. It was working dynamically. So linked list, when we use linked list class, inbuilt class, in case of collection framework, it works same as the array list. Okay, all the functions of linked list are same as we studied in case of array list. Okay, so I have copied the same code that we studied in array list. So now let me tell you, first we have created an object for linked list class, and here we are adding these data. Let's do one thing, first execute it, out.print C. Okay, let's see this one by one so that you don't get confused. So control F11, 10, 50, 100 and 60, it has printed. Now I want to get the data. Okay, I want to get the data of second index, that means 50. Okay, so let's see what it will print. C, control V and D. Okay, let's make it comment. Control F11, just a second. So 10, 50, 100 and 60, it has printed 100, that is available at second index 0, 1, 2. Okay, because we wanted to get the data of second index. Now I want to set the data set the data as 90, or you can say override the data available at first index as 90. What should be printed? It should print 10, 90, 100 and 60. Control F11, 10, 90, 100 and 60. Now let's come to this clear function. Clear function, what it will do, it will delete all the data of this linked list. Control F11, it has, you know, printed blank linked list here. Remove, what remove will do, remove function, it will remove the data of a particular index. You just have to mention the index that you the data of which you want to delete it. And now contains function, if you want to search for an item, that this item exists in the linked list or not, you will use contains function. It will return either true or false. And if you want to print the data, you have to use the for loop, as we did in case of array list. So this is all about array list, linked list and stack. We will cover all other classes in the next video. So we have covered list interface. Now we will see the set, queue, map and iterator in the next video. So stay tuned.
Okay guys, I hope this video is going to help you a lot. This is a very important topic, as I mentioned, from the perspective of your placement. So if you have any query related to any topic, you can ask in comment section. I definitely will try to answer your questions. Okay, so thank you, good luck.